Today on Your Voice, Your Vote, the Moda Center has a $670 million annual economic impact and supports more than 4,000 jobs. It's the oldest sports arena in the NBA that hasn't gotten a major renovation, and some Oregon lawmakers are saying it's time to change that.
It's time for renovation.
I speak with a lawmaker pushing to lay the groundwork for Moda Center funding. The conversation isn't just about Oregon's economy, it's about keeping the Blazers in Portland.
The Trailblazers are the soul of the city. Is soul of the region, and people, just have such incredible civic pride.
However, not every lawmaker is convinced the legislation is a slam dunk.
This is a lot of Oregon taxpayer money, and we need to ensure that Oregon taxpayers are protected.
The agreement he wants to see in the bill to get his support. Plus, don't miss when we head into Katu's archives and look back at the day the Moda Center first opened to the public. Your Voice, Your Vote starts right now.
From Katu News, this is Your Voice, Your Vote.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Gazaway. On Monday, Oregon Senate President Rob Wagner proposed legislation to lay the groundwork for renovating the Moda Center. The bill allows the state to join an agreement with the city of Portland and Multnomah County in an effort to renovate the arena into what they call a world-class destination for events. It would also create a special Oregon Arena Fund in the state treasury, separate from the general fund, to help pay for the project. Senate President Rob Wagner joins us now over Zoom. Thanks for being on the program.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
The legislation is being described as a first step in the process to negotiate the renovation project and the Blazers' long-term commitment to Portland. Explain why the bill is a necessary step.
Yeah, thanks so much. I think what's really important to remember about Oregon's arena, as I like to call it, the Moda Center, the home of the Portland Trailblazers, is that we're one of the oldest arenas in the entire country, and it's time for renovation. We know that it's a publicly owned asset from the city of Portland right now. This would provide a very creative solution for the state legislature to partner with local governments to be able to secure the future with the Portland Trailblazers and the future of Oregon's arena.
You mentioned the city being an owner. Currently, the city is the owner of the Moda Center. If that remained the case, would the state be limited in the investment it could provide?
Part of the legislation is for us to come in as a joint owner into the building. So we want to be super responsible in terms of our share into this project. But again, it's a really creative solution. And I think it's really important to note that the economic development for what the arena provides is $670 million a year. And it's just such a special place. I really think that we need to double down our economic development strategy for the future of the state by supporting the renovation of the facility.
We're speaking with you after a hearing on the legislation. Community members and Oregon officials testified both in support and in opposition. What are you taking away from the hearing?
Well, as I was in the hearing and I kicked it off with the governor and other legislators and people from the community, and I think that that's really important as well, the Albina Vision Trust and the 1803 Project, people that really do have a direct impact for who live and work and support community around the arena. The testimony was overwhelmingly in favor of this concept. And so I feel very good about the momentum that we have behind the legislation, and especially for this proposal.
Some of the criticism here is they don't want the state or taxpayers on the hook for this investment. However, the state will lose a lot of tax revenue if a professional team like the Blazers leaves. They almost surely will with no public investment in the project. What kind of conversations are you having with people who oppose the public investment in arenas like this?
Yeah, I want to be really clear about how this might be a little bit different from what you see in other states. The bill itself requires no new taxes, no new revenue that comes in to the arena fund. This would be the opportunity for the future to sort of sequester and keep the Trailblazers and other folks, other entertainers that are coming in, into a special fund that would help pay over the long term the renovation for the facility. And again, it's in partnership with the city. So I'm really proud of the proposal, and I'm excited to get behind it.
A similar project happened in Minneapolis. I mean, other cities and states are committed to this kind of thing. Does that make you feel like the state has some pressure to do something like this?
Yeah, I think we're just sort of in an environment now where communities across the country are understanding that the ripple effect of the economy is really important to be able to keep major sports franchises. Also, I've talked with folks, and what I hear over and over again is that the Trailblazers are the soul of the city. is soul of the region, and people, just have such incredible civic pride for the team and also for what this arena means. It is the largest and only indoor arena of its size in our entire state, and we draw acts from all over the country. So, like I said, I'm really proud of the creativity behind the legislation and the fact that we're not raising taxes to do it.
The discussion does come at a unique time. The Blazers are about to undergo an ownership transition. Does that complicate things at all?
Well, I think some of the timeline on it, we're only in a 35-day legislative session. So sometimes, in the business cycle, you need to be a little quick. You need to step up and act. There's going to be some decisions coming up with my understanding with the NBA and with the owners on this transition into a new ownership structure. But, when I've talked with folks in community, business leaders, stakeholders, community groups, people know that we need to make sure that we're stepping forward with our best foot at the state level, at the city level, at the county level, to make sure that we keep the trailblazers and then we move forward with renovations for Oregon's arena.
I know this legislation doesn't discuss the funding or obligate any funding, but is it your understanding or hope that there would be a private investment as well in any renovation project?
Well, we'll have to see in terms of how this gets negotiated. I do know if you think about the way that the arena and the arena fund would operate, it would be sequestering the resources from these players and from the entertainers that are coming to perform, and then using that resources to be able to pay off the bond, in essence, the long-term investment. So after that is actually paid off, the arena is actually renovated, that money spills straight back into our state general fund, which pays for education and healthcare and human services, the things that we really care about. So not only is it an advantage in terms of economic development, but in the long term, this is really going to be beneficial to the region and to the state.
During the hearing today, Senate Minority Leader Bruce Starr asked a Trailblazers representative directly if he would be comfortable putting an agreement in the statute that the Blazers would remain in Portland for 30 years as a condition of any investment in the Moda Center. The team rep said no. Does that worry you at all?
Well, I think the idea is that the life of the bonds, where we'd be putting in resources as well as with the commitment from other local governments, would be on a 20-year cycle. That's exactly how long that our bond structures are aligned. So for me, it just makes a lot of sense that if you're talking about a commitment to be able to pay off a bond, that you're in alignment with the actual bond cycle. I know that the Trailblazers, in speaking with their management, want to make a long-term commitment. So some of that is the devil's in the details, but I really think that we're going to get a deal done here.
I mentioned that ownership change coming up for the Blazers. I'm curious, have you or any of your colleagues had any conversations with Tom Dundon, the incoming owner?
I haven't had the opportunity to speak directly with Mr. Dundon, but Rip City Management, as one of the anchor tenants here, has been incredibly open and supportive of what we're trying to do at the state. So I have a lot of confidence with the folks who are managing and leading the Portland Trailblazers and will be in the future as well.
Senate President Rob Wagner, one more question. Beyond just the fandom and the connection people feel with the Blazers, the team's a huge economic engine for Portland, so is Moda Center, and for Oregon as well. What do you think is important for people to know as they form opinions on the renovation debate and who pays for it?
Yeah, well, again, the financing structure in the legislation, I think, is really unique. The fact that there is no tax increase that is incorporated into this bill. And it really is, it's the revenues that come off player salaries and those entertainers that are going to fund it. So if you think about it, it's the economic development, it's the renovation of Oregon's arena, and I think that everybody understands at a heart level that we need Rip City, and we need to continue to be prideful of the fact that we have professional basketball. It's also the fire that are coming online, as well as all the acts. Over 1 million people walk through the doors of Oregon's arena, the Moda Center, every single year. So this is the opportunity for us to get this done.
Oregon Senate President Rob Wagner, thank you so much for your time today.
All right, thanks so much, Wright. I appreciate you.